you have to submit your sponsor license application to the Home Office. Even if you instruct the lawyer, they are not allowed to do that. Do you need overseas skilled staff to work in your business? If you are a UK active trading company, highly likely you can get a sponsor license and then bring over overseas skilled staff to work in your business. To qualify for this, you need to pay the overseas skilled staff minimum salary. The salary threshold is normally around 25,600 per annum. It does change, can go down up to 20,480 pounds per year. It might go up as well depending on the job role. You would sponsor someone to come and work for you. What are the advantages of getting the sponsor license? Number one, you would first complete the human resources need in your business. So most of my clients, they come to me asking for sponsor license because they have a dire shortage of skilled staff in their business, and they find this staff overseas. So for this overseas staff to come and work, even from European country, the employer require a sponsor license where they can sponsor these overseas skilled staff so that they can come and work in their business. So number one advantage is to fill in the gap of your human resources need. That's number one. Number two is long-term talent retention. That's majority of my clients says that it's easier to retain the talent in their business, and diversity is the number third advantage, I would say. And of course, diversity is very popular topic these days, and for a good reason. The diverse the workforce, better the business. That is my experience personally. It has worked well so far for us, and it might work well for you too. If you're looking for diversity, get the sponsor license. If you have a genuine vacancy, if you are genuinely struggling to find a settled workforce, I think getting the sponsor license is the way forward. Number four advantage is there is a very good chance of growing and expanding your business through having a sponsor license, because once you have a sponsor license, you have this edge over your competition who is not having sponsor license by attracting the right talent from all around the world who can come and work for you in your business. Now the next question is, who can apply for sponsor license? So as I said earlier in this video, any active trading company in the UK can apply for sponsor license. Home Office policy guidance in early December 2020 mentioned if you intend to recruit staff from abroad, they encourage you to apply for sponsor license. So it's not necessary you would have identified someone to come and work for you, if you see the point. If you have an intention to recruit someone from overseas, that's good enough reason to apply for a sponsor license for your business. In my experience, there are many industries that have affected severely because of Brexit, and they are facing a great human resources shortage. And few of them I can think of on top of my head are, number one is a care industry. There is a shortage of a great deal of senior carers who you can sponsor from overseas if you find them abroad. IT industry, healthcare industry and financial sector are greatly affected because of Brexit, and they need overseas skilled staff more than ever. So if you are an active trading company in the UK, intend to recruit staff from overseas, you can apply for sponsor license. Now, what is the process of applying for sponsor license? It's simple, two-step process. Step number one is collect the right document, and if I can tell you just fairly quickly within just next 30 seconds what do you need, it's just 4 documents, and majority of active trading business in the UK are having these documents. Number 1, business bank statement. Number 2, VAT registration. Number 3, PAYE, an account office reference number. And number 4, employees liability insurance certificate. Majority of businesses are having these 4 documents. If you don't have one of the documents out of these 4 documents I mentioned, then the alternate documents are, let's say, accounts, right? You have a business accounts at the end of year signed by your authorized officer, maybe director, and chartered certified accountant or authorized accountant. That can work as one of the evidence to apply for sponsor license. You might have a lease agreement or rent agreement, or a document proving ownership of your office building, or you are required probably to be regulated by a regulated body. For example, we are SRA regulated firm, so our registration with SRA can work as one of the piece of evidence to apply for sponsor license. Likewise, if you are in care industry, maybe you are regulated by CQC, that can work as one piece of evidence to apply for sponsor license. If you are a restaurant, then you might have a star on the doors and food hygiene certificate, or a permission from the council that you are allowed to trade as a food business. So that might work as a piece of evidence to apply for sponsor license. If you are required to be regulated or inspected by a regulatory body, then it's a mandatory evidence to submit with the application. If you are required to have audited accounts, then that is also a mandatory evidence to submit with the sponsor license application. And step 2 is to complete the application form online and submit it to the Home Office and pay the prescribed fees. Now, talking of the fees, if you are a small organization, the Home Office fees is £536. If you are not a small organization, then it's £1,476. Now you might ask me a question, what do you mean by small company and not being a small company? So small companies are those who are having less than 50 employees and less than £10 million turnover and less than 10.3 million of balance sheet. So out of these 3 conditions, if you meet at least 2, then you are not a small company for the purpose of paying the Home Office fees. If you do not meet at least 2 of the requirement, then you will end up paying large company fees for the sponsor license. Hope that helps. While you are submitting the application for the sponsor license, what you should not forget is to set up your compliance system. This is extremely important. So yes, you have done step 1, collected the right documents, prepared all the information you need. Step 2 is to complete the online application form, submit to the Home Office. But extremely important step out of this, which is not part of the process for submitting the application, is to set up your own compliance system to ensure that you meet and you are capable of meeting your sponsorship duties to the Home Office, because that's crucial. Home Office may pay a visit, announced or unannounced, before they grant you a sponsor license. Or even if you get a sponsor license without compliance visit, they may arrange a visit post license. So it can be either or. So if you are applying for sponsor license, it's your responsibility to have an appropriate compliance system in place at any time. So what we do in our business, when we take any instructions for sponsor license, as a part of the full package, we provide tried and trusted template which has worked over last 10 years. That becomes your compliance system. It's a plug and play templates which we do provide to all our clients. And we also provide training on these templates and help our clients to be compliant with their sponsorship duties. Not only that, we also run a mock Home Office interview with our clients, because not all clients are lawyers. They are not very technically savvy. They are not immigration lawyers. They need to understand, and they want to understand what is expected of them when the Home Office to come and visit and ask them questions. One of the tricky questions I want to share with you on this video is your email confidential, private and confidential to you? Now, in some business setup, the director might give access to their personal assistant, access to that email. If you are becoming authorizing officer or level 1 user, then you are not allowed to do that, because if you share this with your personal assistant, then it's not private and confidential. And if Home Office was to find that it's not private and confidential, you might even get your license suspended, or you might, at worst case scenario, lose the license. It's very serious. So this is very important. It's just typical question which we come across with majority of our clients. The clients say, yeah, why not? Yeah, but you cannot, simple, you cannot share your email with anyone except yourself. So Either you need to keep an email address which you would use with the home office process, which is only private and confidential to you. If you instruct a lawyer, likewise ourselves, then you think who will be submitting your sponsor license application. But technically, you are not allowed to do that. Even if you instruct a lawyer, you yourself has to submit a sponsor license application online. So what we do practically, of course, we help our clients because they instruct us. They are looking for support and service, which is a complete hand-holding, and this is why they instruct and hire lawyers. So what we take instruction, we provide complete hand-holding support, preparing the full application, and then once that application is fully prepared, we arrange a remote screen sharing session with them, using technology. It might be Zoom or Microsoft Teams or TeamViewer, and then we help them to submit the application online. We don't submit the application for the client. Our client will submit the application to the home office with our assistance. Remember, no matter who you are as a company, might be a small company or Fortune 500 company, you have to submit your sponsor license application to the home office. Even if you instruct the lawyer, they are not allowed to do that. You see the point? It's a very interesting topic. So you ought to follow the home office policy guidance. You are not allowed to instruct a lawyer to submit your sponsor license application. You have to do it yourself. So likewise, there are pitfalls which is uncommon, and for that what we do is we provide this complete hand-holding support and a preparation package where our client would most likely get the success. We are a 10 plus years experience, multi-award winning Legal 500 specialized immigration law firm. We have served 4,000 plus clients and we have 1,000 plus reviews on Trustpilot and Google. We continuously improving and developing content which would be a great use to the audience, likewise yourself. If you find it useful, then press the like button. If you have further question, I would suggest you drop a comment in the comment section below, and I'll prepare a video around that topic for you to see next time. If you like the way we are developing and generating content to help our audience, please subscribe to our channel. It motivates us and we do more. Lawyers are very expensive in the UK. I understand and appreciate that. But what I'm doing is, by creating this digital asset, try and leverage my time and provide a lot more value with these videos. I hope that helps. Thank you so much for being with me today.